Well, hello and welcome to another Minecraft tutorial on my channel here. And in today's episode, I'll be going over how to build this lovely little modern shop that I've designed that's right behind me. And I just want to say, first of all, I designed this because I was on an SMP a few years ago and I wanted to make a store that was kind of modern, and I've never really done modern builds before, so this is my first take on it. And of course, like with every other video you can think of for tutorials and builds, please don't take this as set in stone. If you're going to build it yourself, you can swap out any blocks, you can change the designs, you can do whatever you'd like. It's your build, do what you will. This is just meant to be inspiration as well as a bit of a tutorial so that you can understand how I built it. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started on this build. Alright, so to get started here, you want to start off with gray concrete because it pretty much outlines this entire store here in case you cannot tell. It's the outline for everything, essentially. Gray concrete, and then we have dark oak, as well as down here we have white stained glass panes for the entranceway. And we'll come back to do the decorative parts with the bushes and everything later. Also, when I built this, I actually did twice the size. So basically I did the entryway and then the 3 windows, and then I did 3 more windows and another entryway, so it was a double wide. And you can do that if you'd like, or you can keep it simple like this, and of course you can do the windows on this side or swap it and put the windows on the other side instead, depending on how it'll fit your build best. Alright, so to start out, there's our gray concrete, not concrete powder. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks in between. And this goes up 11 high, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. On the same on the other side, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And you bring it right across like so. Then when you come back down, I told you the entryway here is going to be 5 wide. And we also have our little door frame as such. The door frame actually has trees right here on this side and on this side. And we go back by 1 to start off the actual glass door, which goes up 4 full white blocks high. Then we have our little door here, which actually sticks out like such, only it goes up 3 instead of 4. And it sticks out in the front. And then we have our little handles for the door, which are these dark oak fences. I was going to say stairs. And then, of course, it finishes up there. And up at the top, we bring this over just to have our white glass panes. And then we go ahead and finish this off with string. With some string in the middle. And this here, my bad, this should actually be gray wool, not white glass. Like so, and there's the entryway. For this build, I did 2 entryways. Oh, that is sticking out by 1. I'll fix that. 2 entryways. So I have this kitty corner here. You could choose to do both doors like I have, or you can choose to do 1. The one that I'm building with you right now, I'll only do 1. But let me first fix this. So the glass does go here. I was correct on that part. Then we have the wool blocks. Then we have the string forward to give it some extra depth with our gray carpet right on top, like so. And instead of doing a full another door on this side, I'm just going to fill it in with glass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And bring it all the way up. Of course, you can change this if you'd like to have an actual window like I've done here, or you can, again, do it with the double doors or just do another window like this. I kind of like having it nice and clear and open as such, just so that it's, I don't know, easier to see. And again, to finish off this corner, bring it up by 11 with the gray concrete and connect it over to the original pillars that we did. Then going up to the top here, we have the rest of this filled in with dark oak planks all the way up until we reach here. So let me just go ahead and fill this in real quick. And just so that you know how many blocks, again, this is 5 wide, and then we go up. It was 10 tall minus 4, so this should be 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, exactly. 6 tall of dark oak planks and 5 wide on both sides here, although technically they share this one here, so it would be that row or column. Now I went ahead and I put an I on it for my name, Iondis, or when I made the shop, the idea's name was Ion Co. Just for a big shop brand, of course, you can put whatever letter you'd like here. Let's say we did a C instead, a big bulky C, or a not so bulky C, or even a Z, if I can manage that. Yeah, kinda. Of course, it looks better if you do it with planks or slabs and stairs instead, and you're more than you're more than able to do that if you'd like. The exterior of my shop does have lights. Of course, you don't have to have lamp. You can put whatever you'd like in terms of lighting. You could put glowstone, or you could put sea lanterns in its place instead, but I personally like the feel of the lamps. It kind of makes it feel a little bit more homey, I guess I could say. Very homey compared to being just completely sleek and modern. Although some people do like the sleek and modern look in comparison. As a rule of thumb, I like to bring it up so it makes you look higher and gives you a reason to look at the eye. So this is up 7 blocks, I believe. 4, 5, 6, 7 on the bottom half of the 7th block before you put the little ledge for the lantern and the lantern to hang. Alright, so this building does have a gradual slope on it downwards, and you'll see what I mean when you look at here. It slowly goes down, although it does, the gray concrete does overshoot it by a bit instead of being perfectly in line and symmetrical with the columns, just because I think it gives it a better feel like that. But to go ahead and build it for you, essentially we have our 2 columns here that we connected. It comes out by 2, and then we bring it out another down below it. We bring it out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This will be another column, the column block, and then it'll be 2 more across. And then to prove that, we come on down here. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 column blocks. You want it to stand straight up. So the wood has the wood grain going up. And by the way, this is actually stripped birch wood. I know, shocker, using birch wood, but it's my absolute favorite, especially when it comes to modern builds. So again, 5 here, and then we go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 instead of 11 because we've come down. And the 10th block here is actually the gray concrete instead of the stripped birch wood. But then again, like I said, it overshoots it by 2. Then we come down again and we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we know column goes there, and then 2 more over. And then again, we come back down. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, column straight up, and this one will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 11, 9, 8, and we're going to do one more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then again, this one, we bring it down one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, I cannot count. 1, and then instead of having an overhang, this time it just dead ends right on the edge. Now for the windows, I kept them all at the same height here. This goes up 4 blocks, so we're going to have it end right here, so it's going to be 3 tall, and it's the entire width of this 5 block area. So we're doing a 5 by 3 of white glass panes as such. Then above it, we're going to go back by 1 block, put a placeholder there, and we're going to fill in this entire area with birch planks, because again, love me some birch, and I think it does a great contrast when you have it against gray concrete and dark oak. And this should again be 5 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because this was 5 by 6, but we went down 1, so 5 by 5. This section should be 5 by 4, and then a 5 by 3 section of these birch planks. Then I have a little overhanging on it as well, similar to the gray wool, but not as thick. And instead of having just this little bit of carpet here hanging without any support aside from the string, this time we're going to have actual dark oak fence gates, and then string for the sections that don't have fence gates, and fill that with light gray carpet, sorry, not concrete, because it matches the best to stone slabs. Just like that. Then again, you're going to do it the same over here. 3 by 5 white glass. And since we're over 1, it's going to be a 5 by 4 instead of 5 by 5 area. 3 and 4. And then again, we have stone slabs, dark oak gates, string in between, light gray concrete on top if I can click. And last but not least, one more time for the front of this, again 5 by 3. And since we moved over one, it's going to be 5 by 3 as well for the birch planks. Just like so. Ah. Stone slab on top, dark oak fence gates, string, and then finally light gray carpet. And there you have your front facade, essentially. Now for the side here, I also did the exact same thing in terms of, let me not go to this side, just so you can see the final product before I build it. In terms of the gradual shift down, it's the exact same thing. The main difference being is that on this last section, I don't have a window here. Instead, I've just made this one solid wall with my little eye on it, again, for my branding. So let me go ahead and get to building this. Again, we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, column, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, column, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, column. Actually, this column is gonna be gray concrete because it's the main column that connects it all. And you can tell this is it? Never mind. For a second, I thought this was shorter than this side, but it's actually a perfect square. So you have basically the entranceway, and then 3 windows, and again, 3 windows on this side. So it's a perfect square of a shop. And if you want to change it so that it's a rectangle, just get rid of one of the windows and shorten it, or add more windows and lengthen it. Like I said, how I had doubled it up in my original SMP and this one will go up 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This column will go up 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This column will go up, I believe 9. Nope, it's 8. I cannot count. These are actually all correct. They are. And then when you come up to the top here, again, it overhangs by 2. Comes down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Column, overhangs by 2. Come down 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Column, overhangs again, come down 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it meets right up there with this column here. And again, to the glass, we have the 3 by 5 area. And on this last section, instead of doing glass here, we have it actually filled in with just birch planks. And it's gonna be 5 by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a 5 by 6 area worth of birch. And again, behind the glass up above it, we're gonna do 5 by 2, 3, 4, 5 by 5 section, and then a 5 by 4 section on the next one, like so. Then we have our stone slabs, go right on top here. Also, stone slabs are used for these lanterns on the 7th bottom half block, and then lanterns underneath them. Of course, then we have our fence gates, our dark oak fence gates to provide some support for the awnings, and then string in between, and of course, light gray concrete, light gray carpet to top it off. And since the background for this wall is all birch planks, instead we do dark oak logs for my icon, or your icon, obviously. And so it provides a nice contrast on the background being different compared to over here when we have the dark planks and the light. Finally, we turn our attention to the next side here. Again, we're going to separate the windows by 5s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is going to be a gray concrete column. This side here does not have an angle because the corner here on the front left corner is the highest corner of the ceiling, and down here is just going to be flat, same as the back. So we're just going to take this gray concrete straight across, if I could do that. Essentially it goes up 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It goes up 8 blocks, and it goes over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Exactly 25 5. I'm just going to put that there as a placeholder. 25 blocks this way, which means it's also 25 blocks this way. If you think about it, there's 5, 10, 15, 20 of interiors. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. So 20 plus the 5, 25 blocks wide and long. So it is a perfect little square. Then down here, you want to finish the column. So go up 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And stop because the gray concrete's on top. So again, up 7. And again, up 7. On this side, I also did this one section here filled with with birch planks so that I can have my dark oak icon on it. And again, this will be a 5 by 6, I believe, area, if I count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A 5 by 6 area. And then the logo right. Now here you can choose to make this side also similar to this side where it has the entire birch planks and then the icon on it, or you can continue this open window scheme, and that's what I did with the original build over here. I continued the open windows just because I meant this to be the main walkway when you approach, and you want to be able to see into the store on both sides. Although, as you can see from the front, you do see some products and stuff, but I meant to keep it so that it is open in between and you can actually see when you have it furnished on the inside so you know what's for sale in the store. Or you could just keep it simple and nice and open like this so you just see what's inside. For instance, I have this little checkout stand that I built just hanging out in there as an example, which we'll get to. Again, windows are all 5 by 3 here with the glass. Again, the birch is pulled back behind it by 1, but since they're all the same level here, because the ceiling is not changing directions, they're all going to be 5 by 3 areas worth of birch planks, or whatever planks you want it to be. Again, stone slabs for the awnings over the windows to look like it has support to the building. Stone slabs on the 7th bottom half of the block for the lamps. Dark oak fence gates for support for the gray carpet that will be going on top. String as well for in between it all. And then light gray concrete carpet. You think one day I'll say this right instead of saying concrete. And there you have your side door, your side wall door. Now the only thing left to do would be the back. In the back, the only thing I've done different, as you can see here, it's still the same 5 by 3 glass, and then the awnings, of course. And like I said, you can always change out these walls to have them be actual windows instead. The only thing I did different is I didn't want this entire build to have glass everywhere. As much as I love having glass here to see in, it'll be really hard to have any type of storage where there's windows. Essentially, you can't build up on the walls behind it. So instead, I made this entire wall completely filled in and gave it a little gap here so that I could take, let's say, not a full block of something. Let's say banners. I could take something that doesn't stick to the glass panes and put it in here as if I was selling it. And then I can cover it up with the glass and you see it on the windows kind of like a display case. Oh, look, they have these lovely curtains. But when you're inside, you don't see that because of the wall that's behind it. Like this. But that's just up to you. Again, you don't have to include this if you want it to be an all open concept, nice and airy type of build, which in a way I kind of like. The reason why it is as such is because grocery stores tend to have those back aisles that are freezer aisles, and I was going to do a freezer style aisle back here, but that I did not have time to design. So use your own imagination for that, please. With that being said and built, I did want to show you some ideas for the interior of a grocery store, which you've already seen a bit before. I've gone ahead over here on this part. I can put it up in there. There's a way up here. Perfect. I also had this pushed back by 1 and fill this with barrels, so you could use this to sell items, or you could just leave it here as display, which is what I kind of did, with end rods supporting it to make it look like it actually has support. Or trapdoors would work just as well, but honestly, trapdoors will only look like it's supporting one thing versus the entire boxes, if that makes sense. Up front, we do have wool going on that's also supported by these end rods and gives quite a lot of light. And inside, instead of having trees that are held up with birch wood fences, we have vases, should I say in quotation marks, that are done with anvils and then bushes on top that I just threw everywhere, essentially. Then we have right here, this is like the fruit section of the grocery store. You know how you go through and they have all these barrels full of fruit. And essentially, I have the colors on top of the barrels to represent what food it's for. Of course, some water at the end. And in the barrels itself, you could put whatever food or whatever items you were selling and make it look like it's part of an actual grocery store. You could also do this by putting item frames and then items in the item frame so they know what's in it. But I kind of like this being left to the imagination a bit more. Finally, last but not least, we have this lovely little checkout stand. I was trying to think of the name for it. That essentially you put your food here on the conveyor belt, which is this black carpet. It comes all the way down here. They scan it and they check you out here. There's supposed to be a painting there. My bad. That is not right. Really? Painting. Thank you. And the sign is kind of sideways because it always has like a number on it or whatever, and a little lamp above it as well. I wonder actually, can I put the lamp right above? It does not look, that would have been even cooler if I could. But there's their little computer, they do their checkout here, you can take your groceries and go, and from their point of view, you just walk right in and you're in your little booth and you're checking people out and you're good to go. And the one last thing I forgot to mention, of course, is the exterior design. I like to keep things very symmetrical, which is crazy because it's Minecraft. So any column, it has a birch wooden fence at the bottom, because these are little birch trees in my mind. And then 2 high bushes on top. So again, any column that you see is going to have one of the trees on all sides, essentially, like a so. And then the back, of course. Like as you can see there. Then the bushes are, of course, lining the rest of this as well. So you have a little line here. Since this isn't a door, you could, in theory, put it here as well. But I did a door on the other one, which is why that doesn't have any. And, of course, some in the front as well. Nice and simple, and because I'm just trying to keep it clean, sleek, and something you would see in a very easygoing town, essentially. Well, that's going to have to do it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was informational and it made sense. And I hope that you build something similar. If you do, please, please, please feel free to put it on Twitter and tag me. I am at Iondis007. That's IONDIS007 on Twitter. And I'd love to see your builds and love to see what I inspired you, hopefully, to make in Minecraft. Thanks again for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and all that good jazz, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye, guys! Seriously, please subscribe. I've been here forever, and I'd love to hit 1K eventually.